Okay, so we're out here bright and early this morning. Everything's still wet with dew. Anyhow, my step down theory is working. And I didn't realize how low this was getting, how much of an angle I had on here. But what I did, you can see those strings on there. I've got one string that goes along the back of the block, along the back side of the pin, to keep everything straight. I've got another string coming along the top of it. But what it did, and I didn't realize it was getting this low, but it's running along here and it's running downhill. So what I'm trying to do is bring it back up again, which is actually going to be alright because I'm going to have my feed storage area over here on the end of the pin. I don't really want anything running off over into that. So I got to put some flashing or something in there when I put that together, I'm sure. But anyhow, what it's going to end up being is this pin over here on the back side is kind of, which if you look at the level here, it's a little bit high in the front. I don't think you can see the bubble. Yeah, it's about half a bubble, or 3/8 of a bubble, something like that. Anyhow, so it's got a little slope to the back. And then it's, both of them are going to be sloping to the center pin. So, because I'm trying to get this back up to where it's level. And so both of them are going to slope to the center pin. And then they'll all have a little slope to the back. Not much, but a little bit of a slope to the back. But what that's going to do is that's actually going to help me out, because when I put my French drain in back here for my, rinsing out my pins, then that'll all come down, come towards the middle and come in the back, come out the back here. But basically what I did was I'm grading this off down here, and I'm down to the fine work now, so I'm just using a flat nose shovel, and that way I'm not disturbing no more of that dirt that I have to, but I'm shaving off a little bit at a time and measuring for my depth, so that, see, I got my blocks stacked up on top of one another right there, and what I'm doing is I'm trying to get back to that line, because that string, I held my level on that string, and that string is level. So if I can come back up, and by the time I get to this corner over here, if I can be up on the string with the top of my edge of my block, then that'll put that slope coming back down this way in towards the center pin, which will keep the stuff away from my feed storage area. As it turns out, my hole for my I've been pulling dirt back in there, but the hole for the barrel, it probably needs to come back this way a little bit, which is okay, because I want to have a good area around that with gravel, so it'll drain good. And then, like I say, I'll probably just go ahead and dig me a trench down through here and put a pipe in there with gravel. So I'll probably end up getting another, going down and getting another load of gravel, and another 2.5 ton. But now that I got the farm tractor, I mean, getting it back here, it's a whole lot easier now, I'll tell you, than dealing with it with a wheelbarrow. So, but that's where I'm at right now. And I'm going to try and get this all laid out. I've got enough concrete that if I fix this one panel right here, cut the bent pieces out of it and put it straight, straighten it out, then that'll give me, I can put the fence on it, and that'll give me the panel for this back run right here. And then I can go ahead and break down that temporary housing that I had them in, because they're not in it no more. And that'll give me the other 3 panels that I need. The one for the partition, and the one for this end, and the one I've got to modify for across the front. The one with the bar in it. But I'm trying to get this stuff put together today so that I can get something rolling. But yeah, I figured out, I did the, counted how many blocks because I know it took 15 bags to do what I've got there now full of concrete. So I counted up my blocks, and I had like 45 blocks that 15 bags of the cement filled up. So I figure I got enough cement over there that if I can get this knocked out today, that I can go ahead and start mixing concrete and get this stuff poured in. Because what I'll do is I'll backfill along this backside, just where there's any gaps, that it doesn't run out the back. And but all these cells, and I wasn't going to use the knockouts, and then I thought, no, I want the knockouts in there, because what's going to happen is, let me get where you can see, okay, you got the holes that go down through the top, and then you got the line that the fence is going to sit in, okay, but then it'll go down there underneath of it, and it'll be solid the same way, so it's not going to push out or move or anything. It should be, you know, and essentially when it gets done, it'll be one solid massive chunk of concrete in them blocks that'll keep everything together and keep it from spreading out or cracking or doing anything stupid. But I just measured here a while ago and found out what my number was going to be, so I did the math, because I got to do the same thing over there. And then when I get down here to the bottom, it's going to be, you know, 2 courses across here that'll bring it up, and everything will be level, or it'll be, you know, sloped in this way, sloped in that way toward that center pin, and that's how it's going to go. So I'm rolling along, trying to get her done. Got a little bit of overcast day today, so it's not too bad. Went out there this morning. They're just grazing around and eating their feed, so they're not minding being in the yard. So I figured I'm just going to leave them where they are for right now, and I can get those panels out of there and get it set up. I'll just have to try and do something to keep their mud hole in. I'll probably take some poles, drive some poles in the ground or something, and tie that tarp off on it to where I can keep that mud hole covered to where it doesn't dry out. Either that, or I'll just have to put water in it every couple, 3 or 4 days. You know, keep my eye on it and just fill it up with water again and let them mud it up, because they've gotten quite used to having a mud hole now. So yeah, they're spoiled. Okay, so but that's where we're going. So I'm real happy that I figured out how this is going to work. I mean, I didn't realize it was as crooked as it was, but you know, I hadn't been messing around with a bunch of levels. I mean, I don't have a transit or nothing like that. I know how to use one, I just don't have one. So, but it's still going to be a hell of a hog pen. So I will do more later. Say bye.